red button. And talk.
Hello.
Beautiful. Alrighty. Hello, everyone. I am Sinister Sheep, and with me today is my good friend Matt. He is also a big Star Wars fan. And today we are going to be bringing you the official Star Wars tier list for both movies and series. So,
Sponsored
Matt,
by Disney.
no.
Oh,
No.
well, we can only hope. So we could just become total shills. But
Actually, the mouse is up for public domain in 2024. Mark your calendars. Winnie the Pooh is already in the public domain. They're making a
yeah,
horror
it's
movie
going to be
about it.
that. Yeah, I don't know what to think of that.
The director literally said he made it in 10 days. So he's already pretty much saying, like, this isn't high art.
He's basically admitting this is a piece of shit.
Yeah, we
But,
just did it because Winnie the Pooh is in the public domain and we wanted to use him before Disney eventually buys him out or something like that.
well, I'll be sure to watch it when it does come out.
Yeah. But anyways, I guess let's go over a Star Wars story. So I grew up during the prequel era, and when I was a kid, I really really liked the prequels instead of the original
Every kid
trilogy.
liked the prequels, though.
Yeah,
Every
I mean
kid
they were
did.
made for us. I mean the marketing behind it was just absolutely incredible and insane. Like
Yeah, it was.
you know,
Great.
and then once you get older, then you realize, oh my god, what? I mean,
Yeah, you
there's
realize they were mostly pieces of shit. I have
yeah.
some positive things to say about some aspects of them, but
hmm
overall they're just not good. They're just not good movies.
What I will say is that I am vastly more interested in the world, like in the books and comics and stuff before and like during the prequels and stuff like that. Like, it's actually kind of interesting, as opposed to like the original trilogy, because the original trilogy is tight and it's good and clean. But like I kind of like reading stories during the prequel times. I don't know. It's just maybe it's just nostalgia. That's why, or something like that.
Well, no,
Um,
because I think the actual world building that was done around the prequels was very good.
it was it was good. The only thing about it was execution, but that execution
Yes.
just killed it. Um,
Yeah, the execution is what ended up doing it in. I thought the idea of the Clone Wars, the idea behind it was very cool.
yeah,
I also like the idea of the Jedi almost being like a political body a bit that were kind of
and they're just
uh,
assholes.
overbloated. Yeah, they're kind of like they're overbloated and they're kind of like not great people. Well, I mean, I don't want to say they're bad, but they don't they kind of became like warhounds a little bit, which I always
hmm
find kind of funny because they were, you hear Obi-Wan in the first movie say that
It's
they're like, peacekeepers, and yet here they are like war
and
generals,
then you
which I
hear
always thought was kind
Yoda
of funny.
in that sound clip going in the second movie, attack.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But anyways, without further ado, let's get into a new. Oh, maybe I should tell you how I usually structure these group tier lists. So, S tier or AK, this is the way. Um, has to be a movie we both agree that is S tier. And then like for it's like poetry it rhymes. We both have to agree that this is absolutely the worst uh thing. And then anything in the middle, kind of like if I say it's D and you say it's B, then we can debate each other and maybe mid or maybe get swayed one way or other or just meet in the middle. Um,
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I mean, I'm open to also like compromising too on some things if I, like if we're both off by like one
yeah.
category that much, like I don't even mind compromising a little bit, especially if it's like a crappier movie.
Mm-hmm.
I won't really care about that. So
All right. Well, without further ado, let's start where it all began. Star Wars: A New Hope. I think this is S tier. Um,
yeah, yeah, it's S
all
tier
right.
for me.
Well,
It's my favorite
there we
movie
go.
out of all of them. Yeah, I knew that was going to be easy.
Yeah. I mean, it's the first one that started it all, and like we see Star Wars as normal now because we grew up with it and stuff. But like, as much as Harrison Ford, it's kind of hates the Star Wars fan base. What he said was very true. Like, it was just weird, you know. There was just this dude in a giant ape costume. I mean, the whole thing was kind of weird, and like, you know, but like now we see it as normal. We just see it as Star Wars, and we think he's insane for thinking that. But think about like actually being on set and being like, all right, now you got to talk to this thing, but like it doesn't talk English, but you understand it and you talk English to it. It's like, what, huh, kind of thing. But this initially, I think the project's name was Blue Harvest. Um, Initially, it
That's
was
from Family Guy.
yeah, well, Family Guy named it after it. But you know, this is what started off, and it was a disaster. George Lucas directed this, and like, you know, people were complaining on set, especially the actors and stuff like that.
The Tatooine
What's
scenes, especially, were a pain in the ass to film. From
oh
everything I've
yeah,
read, that was really hard.
yep. But what saved it was George Lucas's wife and a couple other brave editors to make this film somewhat coherent, and it turned into a huge blockbuster hit that no one expected coming.
Cultural phenomenon. Yep.
Yep. Originally just called Star Wars.
And it brought back sci-fi for a while too. Sci-fi was kind of not dead, but it was kind of on
It
the
was
back
Flash
burner for a
Gordon,
bit.
basically.
Though that's what George Lucas originally wanted to make. He wanted to make a Flash Gordon movie,
Mm-hmm.
and you know he arguably came up with something. I'm not going to say better because I've never seen Flash Gordon, but he came up with a very awesome new idea, and I'm glad he did that rather than just have made some kind of Flash Gordon movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
And obviously, you know, I like this one a lot. We'll get into my favorite one, which is the next one. But like this one has like the perfect blend of what he set out to do, which is samurai meets western kind of thing. Plus
correct.
space. Like
And it's got a little bit of 70s camp to it still. There's
yep.
just a little bit of it in there that I really like.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Look,
the others never had that again, but
yeah, you know, looking at nostalgia, these movies are great. But like looking back in hindsight, some of the acting is just like Mark Hamill is just a whiny bitch in A New Hope. I want to go pod racing with the blah blah blah. Like what?
or the power converters line, he
Yeah,
does sound very whiny there. Yeah.
yeah. But overall, I mean, this kickstarted everything, and
I just love it. It's a movie I can rewatch all the time.
yeah, it's a solid structure too. The way events happen, it moves very fast, but at like not a breakneck speed, you know, where you could keep up with anything. Unlike Rise of Skywalker.
Can't wait for that.
Oh God, Jesus Christ! Once we get into the Disney movies, but yeah,
Yeah, I don't
so
have anything good.
you know, I don't really have anything much to say. It's what started everything, you know, and what's interesting about it too. We're just gonna go on side tangent, so I might as well. Um, the toy creators at the time owned the exclusive license to Star Wars, and they didn't know how much production they would need to go into it. So they actually, for the action figures for that Christmas that Star Wars came out, they sold cardboard, like not even a box. It's just a piece of cardboard that said your action figures will be coming once we.
Right, it was like
produce
it
all
was
this."
almost like a placeholder guarantee for the action figure.
Yeah, because they had no idea how if this was even gonna blow up or not. And yeah, so like just that little stuff is very interesting too. To think like, why wouldn't you produce more Star Wars toys? But again, this was like no one had any idea how much this was gonna blow up.
It's an indie film.
Yeah, yeah, it
You know, it
actually
was, and a lot of people don't realize that now, but it was indeed an indie film when it was made.
Mm-hmm. All right, moving on. Do I have to debate you on S tier or
It's S, yes.
okay?
Empire is S tier, yeah.
All right, and we'll just say these are equal because I know yours is this favorite, and or I know
Yeah.
New Hope's your favorite. Mine's Empire. Just know these are like completely equal in my eyes.
Here's how I look
just
at
like
it.
Empire a little bit more.
Yeah, no, I get it. So for me, I obviously like A New Hope more, but I acknowledge that Empire is the better film.
Right.
I can acknowledge that.
Fucking good,
It's
idiot.
because you'd be wrong and you'd be dead.
I don't like you. I'm sorry about that. or my friend doesn't like you.
Luke was a bit of a cuck there. He's like, I'm sorry. It's like, no, Luke, stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I don't like you either. um, but yeah, I mean, what's there to say about Empire that hasn't been said already? It's just a giant chase movie. Like it's nothing but just like a chase, and it doesn't stop from beginning to end. And the acting's a little better. I like. Obviously, we know Yoda is the most powerful thing now, but like as a kid watching, you didn't know like this little green dude was the master of like the Force, or like you know what I mean, like a very powerful Force user. That's why he plays dumb in the beginning, and then when he's smacking R2D2, one of the greatest Star Wars fights of all time, when he's trying to take like a hot dog or something.
Yeah, he took like Luke's sausage. Yeah, what the hell?
He starts beating R2. Fucking Yoda's an asshole.
Well, I don't want to get too off track with Empire, but speaking of Yoda and like that, see, as a kid, I always pictured Yoda not needing a lightsaber because he's like the super powerful being who can, use the Force to, defeat enemies, and then, well, later he gets his little green lightsaber, as George Lucas calls it.
Wow.
And it kind of kills it a little bit.
That's a great point, that he's so powerful with the Force that he doesn't need a little
I never
tinier
figured he
version
needed
of a lightsaber.
Right. No, like that's how I always pictured it as a kid. Like, oh yeah, this guy's so powerful. He doesn't need a lightsaber. Like he doesn't need that toy.
I want Yoda to have a tiny lightsaber, George.
And I want him to spin and jump on rocks.
No, George, I don't
CGI rocks.
No, George, it's the 80s. We don't know how to do that yet. I want Yoda to kill Han Solo. Please stop.
I want Yoda and Han Solo to have a love scene, and then Yoda accidentally turns on his lightsaber and kills him.
Because it's like poetry, it rhymes.
Yes, just like what would if that were to happen? What would that rhyme with in the new movies?
What do you, like the tagline?
Yeah, what would that rhyme with?
Star Wars. Yoda gone wild.
Yoda gone. I don't want to watch that. That sounds really
nice.
I don't want to see his. I don't want to see his wrinkly green balls, man.
You don't want to see Yaddle's saggy green tits.
Oh no.
Ew. But yeah, we're getting so off track. But this is so George Lucas only directed the first movie, A New Hope, in the original trilogy, and this one I forgot who the director was, but
it wasn't Lawrence Kasdan, was it?
No, I think he wrote
it,
Empire and Return, and then helped out writing with Force Awakens.
I'm gonna look it up right now. Who directed Empire? Because even I don't know.
Yeah, I can't because I'm on OBS. But yeah, I mean, Empire's great. It's got a great love story with Han.
Irvin Kershner. That's who it was. Okay, yeah, that's right. He's directed a few movies, I think, too.
Yep. Great love story between Han and Leia. A little odd now today, but it was made in the 80s, so whatever. Like Han's very pushy.
It's actually kind of but it's actually kind of funny too. There, like the whole love dynamic too. It's actually kind of funny to watch it too.
Yeah.
Because like Han's got all those little quips he's got, and it's pretty comical actually. It's a very funny part of the movie
when he goes, "Come on, huh?" Like when she has like, "Why would I want you to stay?" And then of course the "I love you, I know." Da-na-na.
The original line was supposed to be "I love you too," which is just awful.
Yeah,
that's awful.
That was an improvised scene from Harrison. Good job there, Harrison.
He did a much better job than "I love you."
And we get introduced to the most badass bounty hunter that does absolutely nothing, Boba Fett, in this, and he looks very cool.
And that's it.
And that is.
He looks really cool, and that's it. That's it.
And this is the only movie, and I feel like George, kind of knew, that's not really touched by the special editions, thank God, or the revised. I can't think of anything. I don't know. It's been a while, but I can't think of anything really outrageous. Unlike New Hope, which is just outrageous and disgusting.
Oh my God! They ruined, because I think I showed you. You could actually find the 40 millimeter.
I watched
original
that.
print.
It was awesome. It was great,
and it's great. Yeah. The whole Mos Eisley scene is so much better without all that stupid CGI. The CGI genuinely
Hmm.
ruins that very short scene
Yep.
because
Yep.
it's so bad. It's so terrible.
It's awful. It's god awful.
And Empire luckily got mostly left untouched. They only touched up, like, I think, on lightsabers a little bit and like things like that, which
Yeah.
that's okay. I'm
Okay.
okay with that.
Hmm.
Like maybe the lightsabers were kind of dull.
I
Give
just
them a little more color.
wish that like the George would just, well, now it's up to Disney, I guess, but like just release the original cuts without any of the special CGI or whatever, because the DVD box set that I have has the original, but he did it in letterbox mode, so it's this tiny little box in the middle of the screen, and you have to zoom in, and if you zoom in, then it's completely pixelated and takes you out of it completely.
He did
um
that intentionally, I bet.
no, he did, he did. And like
He totally did that intentionally.
one of my favorite Red Letter Media episodes is they interviewed the dude who made George Lucas versus the People, and George Lucas on the laser discs, which are the last, I believe, or before the VHS tapes,
Mhm.
the last like original set that you'll ever have, and George Lucas pretty much threatens this on the back of the box, like these will be the final ones. There's nothing else there, and it's just, oh my god. But
I
anyways,
remember watching it on Laserdisc actually at my neighbor's as a kid. They
oh
still had a
really?
Laserdisc player and they had Empire on Laserdisc. I remember watching it
Oh,
on there.
that's sweet.
That was a fad for about.
5 seconds.
I mean, Laserdisc was it was a thing. I mean, obviously, I'm not old enough to remember it like when it came out, but
Mm.
from what I've heard, it was a thing for a little bit, but it just was kind of impractical because you'd have to go and, like, it was kind of like a record player movie in a way. Then you have to go and flip it to the other side. But
Yeah, which is inconvenient.
exactly.
Yeah, but Empire. I mean, what else is there to say? It's the goat.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic movie.
All right, now we're already gonna get controversial. Return of the Jedi. I only like the Luke stuff. Everything else, I think this movie does not do very well.
Yeah, it's a very. I don't hate it.
I wouldn't say. I
I
would say
definitely do not hate it.
it's like C tier for me, which is, I got a bad feeling about this. I'm willing to bump it up to Hello there because there is nostalgia for it, and
Here's
I
here's how
acknowledge
I
that.
look at it personally.
Hmm.
It is absolutely the weakest of the original trilogy.
Hmm.
It does have a lot of problems, like Han Solo's character is just kind of not absent in the physical sense, but absent like personality wise. It's kind of weird
Yeah,
now that I've
Harrison
watched
Ford
it
was just
again.
checking out.
He was just phoning it in the whole time.
Yep.
Um, but like you said, the Luke and Vader stuff and the Emperor, I like that stuff so much in it.
Hmm.
Um,
That
I
stuff
do
alone
like
is
some of
like
the
that stuff
I
is
like some of
S
the Jabba
tier.
stuff too.
That stuff is
Yeah,
S
that's
tier
the
with
thing. That's
Luke and
that
Vader, but
those.
literally everything else in the movie just is like not up to
It's just
par.
kind of yeah. It's just kind
Like
of
the
like
Ewoks, the
yeah.
Ewoks take it
Ewoks are
over the
the
Empire.
yeah. How like a bunch of stick men.
Should have been
Like
Wookiees. Should have been Wookiees.
it was supposed to be Wookiees. That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
But I do think for kids,
Hmm.
it is a good movie for kids to watch. Like honestly,
Yeah.
it's a great kids movie though,
Hmm.
and I know the other two aren't necessarily for adults either, but I do think Return of the Jedi
Well, it's
works in
definitely a
that sense.
tonal shift. It's not to the extreme. Like, I'm gonna give an example, but it's not to this extreme. But it's like the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, the live action one, was like actually dark and kind of like, well, is this for kids? And then Secretly Ooze childed it up a little bit. It's kind of like that. Obviously, not to that extreme, but like kind of like it's a little bit more hopeful, cheerful, and stuff like that. Doesn't have a lot of dark moments besides the Luke and Vader stuff.
Yep, that's right.
But yeah, so I am willing to compromise for Hello there, just based on pure nostalgia. But my true feelings are,
Yeah,
I got a bad feeling about this.
yeah. I mean, whoops, still coughing.
COVID.
Jeez. Well, I did have COVID.
Um,
Um, that was like 3 weeks ago though. But yeah, I think it does belong. I personally think it belongs at Hello there. Again, I I completely understand the criticisms of it, and I agree with the majority of the criticisms, but I don't think it's a terrible movie.
And it's
So
easy to
yeah,
say that now with like all the movies that come out
well,
since
that's another
the
that
movies,
does kind of
but
play
like
into my ranking of it as well. Is
yeah.
that
And then why is Hayden Christensen on special edition? Why is it that version and not Darth Vader's version?
Yeah, I don't understand that. Like, it was perfectly Sebastian Shaw, I think,
No,
who originally played him. It's perfectly fine, but
I want Hayden Christensen. Yeah, but sir, we can digitally put in the original actor. I want Hayden Christensen, and I want him to have really messy hair. Do you want us to comb it? No, it's space hair.
just like space, there's no bras in space, or
There's no bras in space, and Leia should kiss her brother on the mouth.
oh yeah, that's just normal sibling behavior. So
This is exactly what happened in the writing room. It's like in Empire. He's like, and then Leia is actually the sister. Sir, you do know that she kissed an Empire. Grab my blaster. Someone
grab my
grabs a
blaster.
Anyone who argues that George didn't shoot first, everyone's like, no, sorry.
Don't question the almighty Lucas.
Oh god, that's another edit. I'm sorry to go back, but the fucking with the Han Solo's neck when Greedo shoots. Oh my god.
Oh, it looks so bad.
Oh,
It's so abrupt
awful.
too.
Once you see it, you can never unsee it in any
No.
version.
See, what I don't understand about his thought process on changing that was he claimed that, oh, Han won't shoot first, he's a good guy, right? Yet, I mean, Greedo already threatened to kill him. That
But
was already
that's only
self-defense. I just don't understand it.
That's only established in like Empire and Return of the Jedi that he's really a good guy. When we first meet him, we think he's a scumbag. Like that's the whole point of the character.
Right,
So
but my
for him
point
to
is too,
say
like,
that is like he clearly doesn't understand the own character that he wrote.
no, but my point is that Greedo already threatened him right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it kind of makes sense that he would shoot him anyway. Like, I never saw that as like, oh my god, he shot Greedo.
Yeah.
It's like, no, Greedo literally threatened him. Like, no shit, he shot him. I just never understood that whole thought process or whatever. So
No, yeah. All right, well, on to the prequels. Phantom Menace Episode 1.
oh boy,
I know people have softened up to this. I have not.
I do too.
I like Darth Maul and I like his other stuff that he is in and stuff like that, but as he is in the context of the first movie, he's just a silent dude with a double lightsaber, and I thought that was the coolest shit in the world as a kid, don't get me wrong.
Oh, of course, it was awesome as a kid.
And you know, then it's like weird because like we spend our time on a desert planet or it's Tatooine.
It is Tatooine.
Like all desert planets in Star Wars is Tatooine except for Jakku with fucking Rey where it's basically just Tatooine.
Tatooine 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tatooine the sequel, The Revenge.
Yeah, pretty much.
But like they're just using this kid to get like converter or the power converter, whatever the fuck it's called, I don't care. And Watto, the non-stereotype of a Jewish man, like
He's an Italian Jew.
yeah,
He's kind of like a
he
halfway
is.
between like an Italian stereotype and a Jewish stereotype.
Yeah.
It's like a good in between. Actually, if you type in space Jew on Google, Watto shows up.
Well, I'm not surprised. And also the very offensive Jar Jar Binks.
See, Jar Jar, I think, was a legitimate accident.
Yeah, no, I would 100%.
I don't think any of it. Well, I don't think any of it's
It was
intentional. I think
just
he's just
a white Star Wars. I mean, let's be honest, the original trilogy is a bunch of white people with Lando, and then like it was the same kind of scenario with the prequel trilogy. So they didn't have that one guy going, I don't think this is a good idea.
But Jar Jar's such a cool alien guy.
Well, Jar Jar is the key to all of this, obviously.
He's the key to all of this. He can't be offensive. He's Jar Jar.
Yeah, exactly. This is like the worst movie for me. It's just so boring with its politics and stuff, and
That's
like,
the problem. Is this one, Phantom Menace,
mhm.
with the exception of, I mean, the lightsaber scenes were over choreographed, but there was some cool aspects to them. But
Yeah, I still
um,
can't create a basic synopsis of what happens in this movie because like I, I still kind of don't know what the fuck is going on in this movie half the time. Um, we got Ian McGregor as Obi-Wan. I think he does a good job. Me personally, I wish the prequel trilogy was just focused on him and Anakin was kind of a secondary character. I
I
wish
think Anakin should have been older too when we meet him. I think making
yeah,
him that young was actually a mistake too.
huge mistake, huge mistake. I would put this in the bottom tier. I don't like I dread ever having to watch this ever again.
Yeah, the problem with it is that it's just genuinely very. See, I actually saw it not even that
But
long ago, and I don't
it
even remember it
it
that well because it was
may
just boring.
it may deserve the S tier for Yaddle, the hottest Star Wars
Oh, the
character.
sexiest little green woman. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I want to know the process with that, just like George. So there's gonna be Yaddle. What's a Yaddle, sir? It's a female Yoda. What's the species called? It's called a Yoda. That's incredibly confusing, sir. Oh, and then I want her to have sex with Mace Windu. No, sir, please stop.
That's I hate to say it, but that's probably a porno out there.
Yeah, oh, for sure. So would you agree, very bottom, or do you think there's some redemption out of this?
I think it pretty much does deserve very bottom, but
Mm-hmm.
I do want to try to see the positives in all of these movies and TV
Could you
shows here.
say?
I do want to try to see some
Could you
positives in
say
all of them.
the light side?
I'm just gonna leave this fucking call.
Well,
All right, yes, the
I
light side. We'll call it that. Sure.
I don't know. I just kind of like Darth Maul in this. Like
Here's what I will say about it.
I'm actively trying to find stuff that's actually good, and I can't think of any.
Here, maybe. All right. Here's what I will say that I think it actually did okay on.
Mhm.
I think the actual set pieces that were made and the tone from that, compared to all the other prequels, was actually the closest in from a purely aesthetic look to the original movies.
Yes, I guess because Attack of the Clones is when they just go full green screen with it. At
Yeah,
least there
I
was
actually
some.
appreciate how in Phantom Menace there's still a lot of practical
Uh,
sets and creatures too. Like I know that doesn't really affect the story or anything, but I appreciate that there was
yeah,
still some of that aesthetic that was still left over from the original movies. That's
right.
pretty much all the. That's like the only legitimately good thing I have to say about that movie. And
Yeah,
well, okay, the acting from Ewan McGregor and Liam Neeson, they are good actors, but that's kind of it.
they're doing best with the material they have.
Yeah, they weren't
Um,
bad actors in it.
okay. I mean,
I will give it that, and that's about it.
all right. So, are you still okay with bottom tier, or do you want Jar Jar?
Put it in bottom tier for now,
Okay.
because we'll
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
if
We can
I'll see
switch
if my
around.
mind changes later based on some of the other
Um,
potential crap that might come up.
well, this one I feel is a lot worse. Attack of the Clones. This one is
Bottom,
okay. Good.
absolute bottom of the
I'm
barrel.
glad.
I
Yeah.
think it is genuinely.
Like sand, it's coarse and it gets everywhere.
Oh my god! I've tried rewatching it to see if it's as bad as I like remember it, and every time I watch it, I'm like, nope, it's actually worse.
Cosmonaut, he's a very popular YouTuber. He did a Star Wars prequel review, and he points out that Count Dooku sends uh, Jango Fett to kill Padme, who sends another assassin to kill Padme, who sends a droid to kill Padme, and if you really want to be an asshole about it, the droid sends worms to kill Padme. There's like a line of people with one simple task to just kill Padme.
And none of them can even do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And this is, I mean, this is where the CGI is just like it's everywhere. Like the infamous Obi-Wan hugging the dude with the three arms or
Oh,
whatever.
Dexter
Yeah,
Jenkins, is that his
yeah,
name? How do I
something
even
like
know his
that.
name?
I don't
Jesus
even know
Christ,
because there
man,
was
that's
an
bad.
action figure of it. That's why, because you had the action figure probably.
I probably did. Or
Yeah.
oh, Lego Star Wars. That's where I probably remember it from because
Oh
they
yeah,
always had
Lego
like the
Star Wars
names and
was great for that stuff.
I
Like
love those games.
remembering
They're great.
everything. Like that's how I learned what Greedo's name was as a kid. Um, but yeah, I mean, bad dialogue. Uh, it's so unfortunate that like these movies really tarnished because Hayden Christensen is literally legitimately a good actor, but like
Yeah, no, the guy can
because
act. I've seen him in other stuff. He's
yeah,
not a bad actor.
but like unfortunately he just got dogged on. And it's kind of like it's weird we have this renaissance of like people like the prequel trilogies were actually good, and it's like no, like
No, they weren't.
you're just your nostalgia is just biting at your ass about it. Like the dialogue and everything, the way the story is structured is bad, and people are now trying to dig deep into it, and they were like, oh well, actually, uh, it was all about the Bush administration and stuff like that. I'm like, you are reaching, and I don't know what you're trying to grab, but it's not there.
Wait, how could it have been about the Bush administration
Because the
if
way the Senate is like, it all comes down to Jar Jar when Jar Jar is like, we will hand over our power to the Supreme Chancellor.
oh, that's right, Jar Jar who technically fucked everything up.
Yeah,
That's
Jar
right.
Jar is.
I always forget about that whole scene. He basically gave emergency powers,
He
but
should have been Snoke. I swear to God.
all right, well, I'll get to that later about what my idea for the last movie would have been. But to wrap up Attack of the Clones, it's just a movie that I find it very boring. I think it's got so much CGI going on, it's insane. I hate the opening where after the failed assassination with those stupid worms, they
Yeah,
like jump out into like the I guess
the
the equivalent
streets.
of flying cars in Star
Oh
Wars, and they're
yeah,
just like jumping. It's too much.
it's just visual vomit,
It is. It's just it's awful. I
and
can't.
it's boring visual vomit.
And why make all of the freaking clones CGI? Why?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Dude, you got money. Make costumes.
yeah.
Like
It's not like you
really.
need the actor because they all have helmets. So like,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Like you don't even need to have the same act. Like it's. I just don't. I don't know. And
I don't know. I don't want to think about it. It sucks.
the only thing that came from it that was cool was like Battlefront and all the maps that came from that movie. And that's like it.
The only thing cool that came out of it was that Jango Fett video game for PS5 or PS2 that I really liked,
Oh yeah, that I
I
played
played
that.
it recently, and it does not hold up. It is really bad.
Man, does it really not? That
Yeah, no,
sucks.
it's like one of those where you just have to figure out what you have to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of PlayStation 2 games.
Mhm.
That's why I never want to go back and play some of those because it'll ruin it for me, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. But yeah, Attack of the Clones not good. Character assassinations, especially with Yoda, him just being a
Oh my
fucking
god,
prick.
jumping around
Yeah.
too in that spinning. Oh my god, it's so stupid looking. It's so stupid looking. I
Again,
just.
I will say Count Dooku, he's cool, and like the supplement material around him is cool.
Get to
You
see
know,
the Death Star too. They show the original plans,
yeah, yeah, it's
which
cool.
was kind. I thought that was actually kind of cool, like alluding to that. Like, oh, okay, well, because
My
that's a big thing.
my biggest like set piece that I absolutely hate is that droid factory.
Oh my god,
I
I hate that
cannot
whole scene.
stand it. It's like the worst for me out of
It's like
everything in that
something out
movie.
of a comedy movie. It's so
Yeah,
stupid.
with
It's
fucking
awful.
C3PO with the droid and I don't
Oh
know.
my god, yeah, that's right. They've like replaced his head, and oh my god, it's so stupid.
Like I'm a big fan of like the old Republic games and stuff like that, where like there's a shit
Those
ton
are
of
great.
Jedi and a shit ton of Sith, but like seeing it in live action, I've come to the realization that I don't actually want to see that because I think it's cooler that there's like a small amount of Jedi and a small amount of Sith. Like I'm a big fan of like Darth Bane and stuff in the Rule of Two for the Sith. Like I think that's fucking sick. But that's going into like Star Wars lore that's not even canon now. So
That's right. Nothing's really canon now, it
yeah,
seems.
some of
So
the canon books are good. Like Bloodlines is really good, and Lost Star is really good. But
I have to check some of those out. I haven't really read too many of them.
yeah, the Tarkin book is really good. I like the Tarkin book.
I'm just shocked at like when they how many different um books and comics were considered canon. Like I guess there was like a I don't know if it was a comic or a book. It was called like Death Troopers, and it was literally
Yeah, the zombie one.
zombies.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's insane. Like
I've
they
read
actually
that one.
made that. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's pretty fun actually. I like it a lot.
No, I bet it's fun. It's just
Yeah.
zombies in space and Star Wars. I
They
mean, it
did
sounds
too.
kind
They
of
did
cool,
a,
but
like
just
a one right after the Old Republic. Like I think like it's after the Darth Bane trilogy where it's like zombie Jedi stuff. It's pretty cool.
huh?
I haven't read that one though. And then we have Revenge of the Sith. Now, people bitch about the prequel trilogy and stuff like that, and I understand that. But to me, I've always really liked Revenge of the Sith. Um,
You really like it, or do you just feel out of the
I really
prequels it's
like
the
it
better
out of the
one?
prequels.
Okay, that's what I had to clarify.
Is what I meant to say. It's not up there with Return of the Jedi for me. It's still pretty low. But
Yeah, for me, it's still pretty low as well.
like you can't like really it's just the Anakin and Obi-Wan scene. I'll be perfectly honest. Like that it's by itself it's just a great scene and I like it's just such the tragedy of it all and stuff. Like that scene is done perfectly. The acting is on point and it's beautiful.
Yeah, the acting in that part was actually very good, and even Hayden Christensen when he was like after he got like cut up and burnt,
Hmm.
and he screamed at him, "I hate you." It was actually like that was actually pretty good.
Yeah, it was guttural. It came from the gut. It was like holy
Yeah,
shit.
he was like actual anger. It was like actually well done in hatred.
Hmm.
I also do think in this movie that Hayden Christensen's nonverbal acting was also very good. Like when he was like kind of staring outside of his, I guess his space apartment, if we'll call it that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, when he's like staring out the window, and like you could just see like the confusion, the anger, and like the sadness in his like facial expression while
Hmm.
he's like looking out, thinking about what's going to happen. Like that was actually very good. I felt.
Yeah, yeah. No, I completely agree. The Padme plot is still kind of
Yeah, the Padme stuff is still
like we just
not
spend
great.
pointless time on like the Wookiee planet with Yoda as like the acting general. Again, I hate.
Oh my god, I know. Like literally turning the Jedi into literally war generals instead
Mhm.
of like peacekeepers and whatnot. It's just
Yeah,
kind of funny how that
and
happened.
Order 66 is a cool idea. Like the way it's implemented in TV shows and books and stuff is like really good. Again, like what I said before, like the movies didn't execute this well, but the supplementary material such as the books and stuff, like so there was this video game called Republic Commando. I don't know if you heard of it.
Oh yeah, I played it. I loved it. It
So
was so much fun.
there's like a 5 book series still following those characters, and like the first trilogy is just like in between the Clone Wars and stuff like that. And then the fourth one is Order 66. That's when the band kind of splits off and stuff like that, and you get to see how Order 66 affected them and stuff like that. And then the last one is like some of them becoming like um, stormtroopers, or like it's right before the stormtrooper plan implemented because like the Empire in canon, I guess, wanted to get rid of the clones completely. So it's like in that in between time.
Yeah, they wanted to phase them out. That's
Yeah.
right.
So like again, that those kind of stories and stuff are really interesting, but in the actual movie, not executed so well. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's just that like awesome scene with and the sword fighting too is really good. The lightsaber fighting
No,
choreography
there
is
is a
good.
lot of like fun scenes in the movie,
Mm.
definitely, and
So
like I really like that conversation that the Emperor has with Anakin too, where they're like sitting and they're watching that I guess that stupid light show or whatever that was. I don't know
oh
what it
yeah,
was.
oh with the
But that was actually a really good
Darth
conversation where like
Plagueis, yeah.
yeah, about Darth Plagueis the Wise.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I actually
Um,
like that scene a lot, so
yeah, so I would put it in the C tier equivalent. I got a bad feeling about this.
yeah, I
Right.
think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's good. That makes
Okay.
sense, yeah.
Uh, now that you saw the Disney movies, do these look so bad? Yes, they're still pretty fucking
They're
awful.
still pretty bad, but there's more nuance to it than that. But yeah, they're still bad.
Speaking of Disney,
Oh
so
no.
Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. Uh, I still hold up that I like this one quite a bit.
I
Um,
actually do like it too because it
Because
is a
what do
fun
you
movie.
do after the prequels? You know, you got to get the fans back on your side.
Right.
So what do? You nostalgia bait them, and you basically copy and paste New Hope. And I don't care what anyone says. When this first came out, everyone was raving about it. They were like, yes, Star Wars is back,
Yeah.
baby. Let's go. And 6 months later, all of a sudden, these fucking idiots started being like, actually, it's not that good. Like, okay, like I understand the criticisms and stuff like that, but it's fucking Star Wars, and like it's a fun movie. Every time I rewatch it, it's fun. I don't
It
have
is.
to.
It's a very fun movie to watch.
I don't have
Absolutely.
to like the next movie contemplate whether I really like this or really don't every single 5 seconds. Um,
Oh, well, I think I know what you're talking about there. So
yeah,
we're getting there.
but Force Awakens overall. I mean, Kylo Ren just a complete, so awesome, and like his like really Kylo Ren carried the entire trilogy.
Yeah, and I also
Um,
really like the opening scene of it where he gets off the ship
mhm.
and immediately the stormtrooper. Sorry, yeah, they're still called stormtroopers
Yeah,
in
yeah,
this,
yep.
right?
Stormtroopers.
I don't know if they changed the name.
No,
And like they start just shooting that camp there. Like I liked that because it kind of showed, yeah, these guys are supposed to be ruthless and not stupid and can't hit the broadside of a barn type of
yep.
soldier. I liked how they made them a bit ruthless again, and they had flamethrowers too. That's right, that was kind of cool.
Hmm.
But it just felt like it did feel like Star Wars. Was it original? No, it was not. But it was fun. The characters were fun, and out
Harrison
of
Ford finally died
and
like he
and
always wanted
Harrison
to.
Ford, exactly. Harrison Ford finally got to die. So
Yeah,
I think, yeah, I would actually put it probably at either Hello There or I Have the High Ground.
I was just about to say, I would probably put it on, uh,
I could do either or personally
mm,
because it's still pretty good rating regardless.
but yeah, that feels right to me.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Hmm.
It's just fun. So
Now,
this
I
one,
don't know
this
where you
one.
lie on the scale of this, but I still like Last Jedi. I'm one
You
of the
still
ones that
like
like
it?
it. Yeah, I like it. I completely understand the criticisms and everything, but every time I rewatch it, it's like, if Force Awakens is a safe bet, then Last Jedi takes twists and turns. Now, how far those twists go, I completely understand if it jives some people's stuff, but I really like Luke in this because I've always seen the Jedi as a bunch of self-righteous assholes, and like Luke kind of embodies that, but at the same time is kind of rejecting it. I do hate the fact that he never reflects on Han's death. Like they just tell him, and he's just like, "Oh, okay, cool," and it's just like, "What the fuck?" Like, there's no
There's a deleted
moment
scene where he
with
does
that.
reflect on his death too,
Yeah, yep. And
which would have been better to have in, but
and Leia flying in the air is
oh, Mary Poppins.
not
Oh.
good. But
And a Yo Mama joke in the very beginning of it too.
yeah, and Canto Bite. Canto Bite just
And
feels like
Cantaloupe Bite.
straight out
Mm.
something out of the prequels. Like it's really bad when she releases the animals, Rose. I don't want to dog
And
on
that
her too
fat
much.
singing alien that sings opera like in a
Yeah,
oh my
I
yeah,
don't want to
it's
dog on Rose too much because she got a ton of hate online and
no,
stuff,
I
and that
you
was
can't blame the
unwarranted.
freaking actress.
Yeah,
However, what I will say about her character is I did not like how often something would happen in the movie and they would always have to show her reaction to it. I
yep,
just didn't fucking care. Like
yeah.
I don't
And then Poe just repeating the same thing, like, "Oh, I shouldn't run away" and stuff like that. And Poe is like the most like a former black stormtrooper. Like that's such a cool
you're thinking of Finn.
idea, and they do nothing with him, nothing at all. Um,
But yet you still kind of like this movie.
I do. I like. the twists and turns. I like the whole Luke Skywalker isn't really there when he's fighting Kylo Ren. I like Rey's character in this actually. She's the most tolerable, as we'll see in the later one. She's a little fucking overpowered. Uh,
Mm.
but yeah, the humor doesn't land at all. It's like a very flawed movie, but I appreciate what Ryan Johnson was trying to like actually change the Star Wars formula, and he and everyone ever since then has quickly learned that Star Wars fans don't want anything different. They just want the same thing. So that's the biggest lesson that The Last Jedi has taught any other filmmakers who want to touch this franchise. Um, I just appreciate the risks it was trying to take. Now, I would put this probably like right below Return of the Jedi. Like, I don't think it's god awful. Like, god awful is coming up next. That is an abomination. What's up next? But like Last Jedi is like the middle ground for me. But I myself enjoy it.
So here's where it's very difficult for me because
So here's where everything you just said, Jack, is wrong, and here's why.
well, no, I don't think you're. Here's where it gets more complex for me because I've tried rewatching this movie several times.
Mm-hmm.
There will be it's like a roller coaster itself because there will be things in it that I really like,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's something that I just literally want to just throw my remote through the screen at. And for me, it's like depending on my mood, if I watch it, I might say, okay. And other times it'll be like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's such a difficult thing for me because there's elements I really like. Like, I do like Luke. I think it makes total sense that he'd be a grumpy old man.
Yeah, and I
I
feel
think
like
that makes
people are
total
wanting
sense.
Legends Luke, where he's this OP fucking
Yeah, they wanted
mastermind,
Luke.
and I'm like, get the
Yeah.
fuck out of here. I don't want to see that.
So I liked that, but I feel like the movie itself could have been scaled down so much more. I think genuinely it was 30 minutes too long. I think there was so much that
Yeah,
could have been cut out.
you can't bite.
Canobite just oh
It's a
god, yeah,
huge
that
just waste of
whole
time.
oh my god, it was just that for me it's
Introduces a
so
character like the traitor character that never makes another appearance again. Like,
and here's one thing I liked about that. When they get on a ship, because he was an arms dealer, right?
mm-hmm.
And he talks briefly about how, oh, I'll sell weapons to anybody. I don't care. It's all about the profit. I thought it would have been really cool if they dug more into that whole idea of who's kind of like funding everybody. Like, where are
Mm-hmm.
the rebels getting all these ships from and weapons? Where's, the new empire basically getting all their stuff from? I thought it would have been kind of cool if they dug into that and they just fucking drop it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's already a long running time, so. But yeah, I get that. I mean, I liked Rey and Kylo's relationship. That's like throughout the whole thing. Like, I like that Snoke died. Like,
No,
and
fuck that guy. He was a fucking useless. I'm honestly, they should have killed him off even earlier. Like,
yeah,
no, I'm glad they killed him too.
but
He
like,
was he sucked.
I and I also this is the part where I really liked where like I was like, okay, this movie's trying something and I actually like it. When Rey is actually a nobody, I'm like, finally, someone who's not
No,
connected to
I like that
Skywalker and stuff
too.
like that. It's great. It's
Oh
fantastic. And that brief moment where he's like, "Join me," and we could just start over with the new order. I'm like, oh, that's so awesome.
no, and that's why for me this
And
is
it should have
difficult
ended
because
like the movie should have ended right there, and I would have been like, fucking 10 out of 10. This is
yes,
great.
that
But
is where it should have complete.
then
I agree. It should have ended right there.
then the movie continued.
Oh, that's why for me it's like
And like I
it's such a
hate
hard rate.
my eyes like when she moves the rocks like she did during her training to help the people escape. I was like, stop. It's so
Oh
dumb.
my god, that's right. All the rocks are floating. And it's just like a
And then
fuck
they're
ton
like,
of
oh, this is
rocks.
all that's left of rebelling. I'm like, well, Jesus Christ, this is a little fucking bleak, and then it ends. Like, at least with Empire, it was bleak, but there was a glimmer of hope. But with this one, I was like, yeah, this is pretty much it. Yeah, we
Yeah, like
learned
these
later
guys are
that's
fucked.
not so true, but yeah.
For me, it's such a hard. I mean, I it's tricky for me. I mean, I do
Yeah.
think generally I do view it as more negative than positive, though.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, doesn't mean there's things I really liked or wish they had gone into more that I thought was really good, but there's just so much I also don't like.
Yeah.
It's a very hard watch for me
Yep.
because of that.
Yeah. So, where would you rank it?
I would probably put it at either I got a bad feeling about this, and if I was in a really shitty mood, I'd probably put it in Jar Jar's the key to all this, but I'm not in a super shitty mood.
So, can I put it ahead of Revenge of the Sith, or?
You know what? At that point, I genuinely don't care, so go ahead.
All right, beautiful.
Like I at this
Again, I
point
think
in this time, it's like comparing turds. You know,
yeah.
they're all turds, but
Up
I'd rather eat a small turd than a big turd.
yeah.
So
Up till now, like I thought, oh, the Disney stuff isn't nearly as bad as like the prequel stuff. Then I watched Rise of Skywalker, and this genuinely I think it's the worst Star Wars movie I've ever seen in my life. Like it is unfocused. It crams two or three movies into one movie. They just go places.
Three movies into one movie. That
It's
could
like
have been three movies.
it's a video game quest that the whole thing, and I'm like, what the fuck is going? Like, if this was an open world video game, sure, I guess it would have been all right, but it's a fucking movie with time constraints, and they fly now. And
Oh my god, that was so. Oh, don't even bring it up.
Rich Evans summarized like
Those
he
guys were pretty accurate in all
yeah.
of their predictions for these movies. It's kind of crazy.
Well, with their 70-minute movie review, or I think it's 90 minutes. He Rich Evans within one sentence has the best Star Wars Rise of Skywalker review ever. If you like vines, you'll like this movie. That's
Mm-hmm.
literally what this is.
It's
It's like
ADHD the movie.
it's a bunch of things happening all at once, and it's like you can't think because oh look, Chewbacca just died. Oh, what the fuck happened here? What the fuck happened here? And they're jumping all over the place, introducing like post love interest, but we don't have time for that because we got I have time for Ray and it's painful. It's actually like I bought the Star Wars Lego complete saga or whatever, and like playing through Rise of Skywalker just affirmed how much I hate
Yeah, because
it.
like you keep jumping to different things so quickly. There's like no time to actually like digest
Mhm.
anything going on.
I think honestly, and I don't know where you're from, but I think it is the worst, and I think it's worse than two and one. Like I will never watch this movie again. Like
So
I have no desire.
I have the exact same opinion as you and
Mhm.
the exact opposite opinion as you. So let me explain. Let me explain what I mean by that because it sounds
Okay.
confusing.
Hmm.
It is a terrible movie.
Hmm.
It shits on absolutely everything. It's awful.
Hmm.
But oh my god, is it such an entertaining dumpster fire for me to watch because it's so fucking bad.
You know,
And I can't like in a weird way. Like it's so memeable and bad for me that it's almost become like a
like a
troll
guilty
2.
pleasure.
Yeah, or like a troll 2 or
Hmm.
like a The Room for me.
Yeah.
Like cuz it's so horrible. Yet I watch it and I just laugh at how bad it is. Like it actually makes me
I just
laugh. And for me it's like a hard thing to kind of contemplate.
like for me, I look at it this way, right? I look at it this way. If I'm with a group of friends and we're like, all right, put on a shitty Star Wars movie, but we still want to have fun with it. Like, I would put on any two of these prequel movies. I would not put on Rise of Skywalker because like there's some things to make fun of, but like the prequels are just so meme. I don't know. I think
The prequels are very memeable.
yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. I will concede because you know um, the prequels are bad, and I don't want to like get people the wrong idea. Like, oh, so you do like some
I mean,
aspects of the
like I
prequel?
said,
Like, I don't like
I'm
any of
cool
it.
with I'm cool with either putting them in Jar Jar or what was that
Hmm.
last one? It's like poetry. Because
Yeah,
for me, again, it is a fucking awful movie. It really is.
yeah.
But it's just so. It's like watching a train wreck, and you
Hmm.
can't look away from me at least. Because it's just like, oh my god, this is so bad. Like I can't believe this is actually real.
Yeah.
But I know that's a unique opinion to have on it.
Yeah, so that concludes the mainline, the Skywalker saga.
Uh,
uh, and then we have this one I have not actually watched, but I haven't heard any good things about it. The Not the series, the Clone Wars, but the movie that came out before the series, the Clone
I
Wars.
haven't seen it either, but I've
Okay.
heard it's really bad.
Yeah. Let me add another. Oh shit. Oh, what did I just do? Oh
Oh
no.
crap.
Oh, okay. Let me just make a thing like have not seen. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Make it pink.
Oh, make the title, make the name of the road the Phantom Menace because we haven't seen it. It's a phantom to us, you know. Ah, see, and it's probably bad too. So I think it fits that category.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I have, I don't know. No, how the fuck do you spell menace? Jesus Christ.
MENACE.
What was it? Mence. Okay.
MENACE. Menace. Can you really not spell menace? Like, dude, what have you been doing?
That's stupid. I'm stupid.
I'm just dumb.
Oh, so fucking stupid.
And you made it pink too. That's cute.
Oh no, I gotta fucking. I hate that I can't use my mouse because I'm already using all the USBs. Okay, there we go. All right. So, what are your thoughts on Rogue One? I'm not a big fan.
I like the last 40 minutes of it,
That's fair.
and the other stuff has highs and lows. I'll put it to you that way for me.
And
Has some
I
highs and has some lows.
I take away from this. I don't remember a single character from this. It's a neat idea to have like something just completely outside of the Star Wars saga, not focusing on the Skywalkers or
Yeah, for
anything like
once.
that. Like, yeah, exactly for once. But again, it's just a forgettable movie for me. Like, it's just kind of meh. I
Yeah,
would prefer it as a series, which they're taking one of the characters and making it like a series. So that's interesting. But like as a
it would have
movie,
been a better series actually. I think
yeah,
than just a standalone movie.
it just kind of floated away from myself.
Yeah,
From
I don't think it's bad. But I don't love it.
yeah, I would
It's like okay.
I would put it in Jar Jar as the key to all this.
I would actually probably put it at I got a bad feeling about this because for me it's very like it's just like it's kind of inoffensive.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not like offensive in any way. Really, it doesn't like
It's not memorable enough to be offensive.
right. Yeah, and it's not like there's nothing in it that breaks necessarily anything either.
Hmm.
So for me, it's just kind of like
Yeah, that's fair.
I
So
liked it more when I first saw it because again, I do like the last like 40 minutes. I think that has like all right. One thing I will say is that it has
mhm,
one of the best spaceship battles. That
yeah,
was actually really good spaceship battle, but
hmm,
that for me, it's just otherwise. It's the problem is the first half of the movie is just kind of eh.
yeah.
So yeah, I think
Solo, a Star Wars story. I like
I actually kind of like it a little bit.
yeah. I
It's not great. It's not great,
I'll be
but
honest. I have like I started watching the beginning of it, and I still to this day never finished it. I was just like
all right. So I
like I
guess I'm
already
going with
knew it
opinion.
wasn't for me, so I was just like, I'm done.
So all right. So I'm the only one that's actually fully seen it.
Yeah, so you get full say.
All right. I it was a movie that I thought I was going to hate,
Hmm.
and my expectations were exceptionally low for it.
Hmm.
And I watched it, and I kind of actually there was actually a lot I ended up enjoying.
Hmm.
Um, I would either put it at I got a bad feeling about this, or if I was really feeling it, I might even do hello there. I don't know.
Mm.
It's not it's not a perfect movie again either, but it actually ends up being kind of a fun. I
Would you say it's better than Rogue One or just below Rogue One?
think it's a little more fun than Rogue One.
Okay.
It is
Well,
more
I mean,
fun.
Rogue
It's
One is
fun.
definitely a misery face fest.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a.
Yeah.
It's got its moments, but
All right. Now we get into the fun stuff. The Mandalorian. Is this the way?
all right. So
Oh,
I love the first season.
first season is good. Second season
I
tracks.
love the second season. I felt kind of got a little.
CGI Luke sucks ass, and you can't tell me otherwise.
Yeah, my problem with the CGI was that it was very what's the term? Uncanny Valley,
Uncanny
is that the
Valley.
term?
Yep, yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think eventually technology will get to a point where
Mm-hmm.
that can work,
Yeah.
but it it's just too uncanny for me. It's just
Right.
it
But
just kind of shook.
as a whole, counting season 1 and 2, I still think it ranks relatively high.
It does. No, it definitely does still rank high. I agree.
So I would be comfortable with S tier or A tier.
Yeah, I could actually do either or for that. I may actually just go and say S tier because
Yeah.
I really do like the first season, and I do think season two wasn't
It's Star Wars in the right
terrible.
direction. Or it started out that way
Yes.
until fucking Luke Skywalker showed up. Uh like just
Mm.
separated from the main cast and whatever, but I will see with season 3 and stuff. And then unfortunately we have the most wasted potential of a series, Boba Fett,
All
aka
right.
Mandalorian 2.5, aka the wasted potential. It should have just been a movie, just have a Boba Fett adventure, and that's it. Like, it's
So I haven't really seen too many. I think I've only seen two episodes.
okay.
So this is going to have to mainly be you.
All right, I'm gonna put Jar Jar as the key of all of this because it's got some Mandalorian stuff in it, and that's great. Or well, it's okay, but it's a fucking Boba Fett show. It's called the Book of Boba Fett, and for 3 episodes, Boba Fett isn't even fucking in it.
Yep, I've
Like
heard that. He's like absent.
it's just such a bad, and like the acting's like it's not all there. Like the guy who plays the clones, like he's not really a great actor. Um, I don't
What's
know.
he even been in?
Yeah.
No, like I'm not trying to be like snarky about that. Like, what has he been in other movies? Because I don't really recall him.
I don't think so. Like, or if he has been, he's probably been in like crappy like B-list movie. That's why he's like eating up all the like Star Wars Celebration attention because like finally he's getting some love.
Right, it's getting him like some record. I get it. Yeah, it's getting him
um,
something. Yep.
and then next up is so I guess they were separated in 3 episodes. I don't remember exactly, but this is the Samurai Jack animators who did the Clone Wars. This was
I
pre
loved
the CGI one.
that cartoon as a kid.
Oh
I
my god,
adored it
so
as a
badass
kid.
with that one stormtrooper with the bazooka, and then like there's like 2 other droids next to him, and it just starts shooting them down. And it's just like, oh, it's so
Oh my god, no, I
good.
loved. I remember when that series came out. It was on Cartoon Network. I
Mm-hmm.
remember my friend and I were ecstatic for the premiere of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was just the anticipation was insane. And
And this was before episode 3, I think.
yes, this was
Like,
before
because it
episode three.
introduces General Grievous and Asajj Ventress. Ventress? Ventress?
That's right, it does. That's right. That's where we first see her. Yeah, that's right.
Yep. It's got great anime. I'm only going to put one of them up because these are all the same things.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't know why it came up as.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
tried
don't
to
know.
find a list where it just came up as one, but I couldn't find it because people want to be like, actually, it was 3 episodes. And it's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We don't need to get that technical.
I don't know. I would put it like A tier,
I'd put it
honestly.
A tier, or I would do A or S tier. I That was honestly a really good cartoon.
Yeah, it's just too short for me to put it in like S tier. Like it's just it packs a punch and leaves, and it's great. But
That's
then
fair. That's
it
fair.
kind of paves the way for what I believe is the S tier, which is the Clone Wars, or yeah, no, the Clone Wars animated
Oh yeah, no,
Cartoon Network
yeah,
series.
the CG, or not CGI,
Yeah, the
sorry, the
CG.
yeah, the animated. Yeah.
Yep.
No, that's yeah, I would actually I haven't watched all of it,
Hmm.
but
Well,
every episode I've seen so far has
that's
been
the
fantastic.
one beautiful thing is you don't need to watch it. In fact, I haven't
That's
watched the
right.
entire series because it's an anthology, and there's watch guides online, and like I just follow that, and it's just like you do that, and it's fine, and you miss nothing, and it's like it's the supplementary material for the prequels executed perfectly, absolutely flawlessly. I would put it above Mandalorian. I love Mandalorian so much, but like Clone Wars doesn't miss for me really. Um,
You've
um,
seen, yeah. I mean, from what every episode I've seen, I've loved it. So
yeah.
if you've seen more than me, go ahead. I believe it.
Oh shit. Whoops. Ah.
Yeah, I don't want to put it that far. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
It's good. It's really good, but it's not
I
quite
like
that good. Yeah,
Mandalorian, but then like after season two, they're like, "Look, baby." I mean, they were already like, "Look, baby Yoda," but then they like become like, "Look, baby Yoda's the best thing ever." And it's like, all right, let's chill.
yeah. It's a baby. Like, calm down, guys.
Then we have fucking Star Wars Rebels. Oh God. Like,
I have never, ever, ever seen Star Wars Rebels, so I can't speak at
so
all.
there's some aspects that are good.
I'm
There's
sure.
there's Tarkin in it, and Tarkin's cool. Or not Tarkin, sorry. Thrawn. Thrawn is in it, and he's legitimately enjoyable. Um, they put him near, like, I think, if I remember the timeline correctly. No, yeah, no, it's after the original trilogy, or like, no, it's in between the prequels and the OG trilogy, I believe. Which I don't know why you would put Thrawn there instead of just like after the original trilogy, like he's
That's a
supposed to
good
be.
point.
But whatever. And and the Ahsoka stuff is cool, and then she actually meets Anakin and Vader and does a fight, and it's really awesome. And Obi-Wan kills uh, Darth Maul in the show, so it's little moments like that. But the vast majority is about like really weird and unlikable characters that I don't like. So it's like I don't know. It's there's a couple key really good moments, but like it's just not it's it's like the main character sucks. I don't like him at all. A couple of the side characters are fun, but besides that, it's like Clone Wars was alright to be a little bit more adult, but still a kids show. Whereas Rebels was just straight up a kids show with like some scenes that people have been waiting for, like Ahsoka meeting Darth Vader and stuff like that. But yeah, and then
Hmm.
I haven't seen the Renaissance. I think it's called. I don't even know. Have you seen it?
What
This
is it?
it's like Star Wars Renaissance. It like came
I've
right after
never,
Rebels. Yeah,
I've never even heard of it.
put it in the Shadow Realm.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
That's my
Uh,
first time ever even hearing about it, so
yeah, the Bad Batch. I like the Bad Batch quite a bit.
haven't seen it.
It's CGI animated from the same crew as the Clone Wars. Season 2 is coming out. And it's good. It's right after Order 66, so it's in that in between time, and like Tarkin is uh Tarkin's in charge of essentially getting rid of the clones and implementing the stormtrooper program. It's really fun, and it's got great Tarkin moments and stuff like that. I would put it right below Return of the Jedi. It's just kind of a fun little thing. Um,
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, so
and then the last one, Star Wars Visions. You know me, I'm a weeaboo. I like out of I think the 8 episodes, I like about 3 or 4. But it's really cool. Like there's this one where it's this Ronin essentially, and it's super cool. And then there's the Trigger one where, if you know anything about Studio Trigger, they like do like ultra extreme like animes. Like they did Kill a Kill and Gurren Lagann and stuff like that. This
see,
dude,
I'm not anti-anime. In fact, I used to watch Dragon Ball Z as a kid, and I did watch a bit of Naruto, but
mhm.
I haven't really watched any
but I
like
shower
forever.
is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
I actually bathe
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I also maintain my facial hair.
Right.
I eat healthy. I
Uh-huh.
exercise.
Mm.
I'm not 300 pounds. Yeah, but yeah, you get the point.
Yeah, yeah.
But, um, I mean, I'd be open to watching it. You
Yeah,
know.
you should check some episodes out. Just look up online the best ones, and they're really good. It's more enhanced listening to the Japanese um, dub with subtitles. I feel because it it gets you into it more, and some of the English dub stuff isn't really that great. They get a bunch of no names for a fucking Star Wars anime, which is weird. Or it's an anthology, so like
Hmm.
you don't even have to watch it, or you could just skip around. Um, but yeah, I mean, I would probably put this like I would put a B. I think like just below Bad Batch. It's just a fun little like experiment. I hope they do more of them. They're doing a I think it's Tales of the Jedi. That's like one of the newer ones that came out for their Star Wars slates. But that's one going to be animated like the Clone Wars one. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, what do you think about this list? I think this is a
Um,
solid list. We
I think
just
it's pretty solid. Let me just take a quick look, and maybe we could, if we really want to, like maybe debate a couple things. I mean, if we
mhm,
want to change anything, I think it's pretty solid so far.
mhm.
All right. So looking at it right now, I can't comment on some of these just because I haven't seen
Yeah.
them. Let's go back to Phantom Menace for a
Okay.
brief moment.
Mhm.
So I like, like you, I also agreed that it is bad,
Mhm.
very bad.
Mhm.
But because I genuinely think it has a small edge over Attack of the Clones, I may actually vouch for it to be put into Jar Jar.
Mm.
It's not saying much, but I think it has a genuine millimeter length edge over Attack of the Clones. Like a smit. No, I know that sounds crazy to say because Attack of the Clones for me is like just fucking awful.
Yeah.
I genuinely. It's not
Yeah.
even like I can't
I
watch it and
mean,
laugh at it. I hate it.
I could see if you really wanted to like
I'm splitting hairs here. Yes, I
yeah,
am.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I am splitting hairs here.
I I mean, it's like poetry. It rhymes means that we both agree that it belongs there. So if you're inching toward Jar Jar is the key to all this, then by default it would be up there, and I can't argue with that.
I'm just giving it like a yeah. It's like a quarter step above Attack in my opinion. I would
Yeah,
rather actually watch Phantom over Attack,
I think I
which
would
is saying a
too, just because
lot.
it's got a lot more memeable moments and it's awful, and I
And
hate
it's got Jar Jar,
and it's got Jar Jar,
and he's the key to all of it.
and he
So
is actually the key to all of this.
yeah, exactly. So I rest my case.
Beautiful, well constructed.
Thank you.
So
I
Star
try.
Wars isn't all shit, ladies and gentlemen. If you look at this, like
No, it's
as much as the
really
internet
not.
wants you to believe, it's not all complete dumpster fire
The
garbage.
problem is a lot of the main movies are kind of not great.
Oh, you mean everything after Empire isn't
Like,
as good?
yeah, I mean, it's just yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, there's more nuance to it than that. Obviously, as we've said, it's not as
Mhm.
simple as everything beyond it absolutely sucks. I don't think that's true,
Yeah.
but
The legend stuff is good. I like the stuff that's not canon anymore. Um, but I also like some of the canon stuff. It's not all bad. Like everyone wants you to believe like Disney is ruining, and yet all of you still show up to Star Wars Celebration. So I don't understand why you're bitching and complaining if you keep giving Disney your money.
right, they're
Uh,
gonna keep giving them the money.
yeah.
So
Like right now with the Kenobi series, like I'm actually quite liking it a
haven't
lot.
I haven't seen it at all.
It's already better than all of the prequel movies combined. It's just a little cheap. It feels a
That's
little
not
cheap.
saying much though.
Yeah, no, exactly. But I'm interested to see where it goes. But um, yeah, so I think this is a solid list. Um, yeah, I mean, we have various opinions, especially on the Last Jedi. But
Yeah, that one for me is just the
yeah,
what's it called of the bunch.
the worst, the most
No,
controversial.
yeah, for me it's like
Yeah,
I genuinely will watch it and really like a part and then just fucking hate
hate the
another
other
part.
part. Yeah,
It's like a really like
it's a love hate relationship. It's like a toxic relationship.
yeah, and
Like
it definitely does lean more towards hate for me.
like
Definitely
like
does.
you don't want to keep being in this relationship, but the fact that there are a little bit of positives here and there keeps you there, even though
Right.
you should leave.
Right. It's like the ideas in it for me. There are ideas I do like and I wish they'd gone more into it, but then
You just
instead they
wish they
just
were executed like well.
correct. Like I do like the fact that, I do like the fact that Rey is a nobody. I think that was so much better. Like no, she's just some,
Not a
stupid dumb
fucking
bitch.
Palpatine.
Yeah, oh god, yeah that. I always forget about that. Which that's why for me Rise of Skywalker is
Or no,
basically a
no, she's a
separate category of fan fiction for me.
she she's a Skywalker because she said
Oh,
Anakin.
stop, shut up.
Be quiet. Stop.
It's
Stop. 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 Stop.
so bad.
It is. It's terrible.
But I just when I watch it, I laugh.
Yeah.
I laugh, and like I have to give that ironic amount of credit to it for being so bad. It makes me genuinely laugh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that does it for this video. I think we have a solid, definitive Star Wars tier list.
Sponsored by Disney.
Sponsored by the mouse. All hail
The
the
mouse
rat.
always wins.
The
The mouse
mouse
always wins. Yep.
will own us all eventually. Um, and yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I have a couple things to plug. I have two channels in addition to this one. One of them I haven't published a video yet, but will eventually. And that is Jack Reads Books. That's my channel where I'm going to be focusing on reviewing manga and books, mostly fantasy and sci-fi. And then I have another channel called Black Hudson Productions where me and Mark Keith have a podcast together called We Didn't Ask for This. It's a comedy podcast. And then Anime on the Rocks, where me and my friend Peter drink while discussing anime and other topics. And then we have a bunch of skits and sketches and all that fun jazz. So make sure to subscribe to both of those channels. I don't know when I'll post content on Jack Reads Books, but it will be done eventually. And make sure to check out the previous tier list on this channel, which should be uploaded by now. The One Piece arc video where me and the gentleman Snark discuss all of the One Piece arcs and where we would rate them on a tier list. That's a really fun one too. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. And Matt, if you want to plug in anything or
Yes, I have a proposal actually for you.
okay.
So we just did this. We just did Star Wars. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, I watched all of the Romero Dead films.
Ooh.
Would you like to do a tier list of those maybe in the next few days?
Hell yeah, that sounds awesome.
All right, cool. Have you seen all of them recently?
Not recently. I would
I
have
think
to refresh my memory a little
you
bit.
could pretty much find them all for free, I think, on like
Yeah.
various like streaming. So if you want to do that, though, I'd be down to do that this week sometime.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
All right, cool. Hopefully
All
the
right.
viewers will like that too.
Yeah, so make sure to check that video out when it comes out. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much.
Yeah, see you guys.